Alright guys, in the last video I showed you how to uh, insert data into your database. Today I am going to show you how to actually call some of that database or information from the database out. And we'll be using a public static void for our function. I'm sorry, not void, array list. And the reason for this is when we call out the information, we need to be able to put it somewhere. So we're going to go ahead and put it into an array list. And we'll call this function get, and again we will throw all of our exceptions. And we can start once again with a try catch statement after or before we connect. So I'll do try. And here we'll set the connection using our connection function we just created. We'll name it con. And there we go. Now that we have established our connection, you'll notice we still have an error. That's because we need to actually import array lists from the Java utils. So we can import that. It goes up right there. And we can continue with our project without the annoying little errors. We will once again create a prepared statement. And I'm just going to call this statement. And it will equal our connection.prepared statement and then our SQL string. And here we will do the keyword select, and this is where you start to get some different options. You can either do a select all from your table name, which in this case is I am alive, or you can actually specify what field you want to select from. So we could say select first from I am alive, and we can do more than one field. So we could say select first and last from I am alive. So for now, that's what we'll do, is we will select the column first and the column last from our table I am alive. Now on the next row, we will have a variable. Well, first we'll use the class result set, capital R, capital S, and rename it to result equals statement dot execute query. Now you'll remember in the last video I mentioned this real quick. None of the other ones that we have given a variable name or done anything with, the reason we are here is because we actually need to handle the information we're getting back from the database. So to start with, you'll need to import result set from the java.sql. That should take care of any major errors you have. And on the next line here, we'll go ahead and we'll actually create a new array list. And this is going to be what we're actually going to return to the function that called us. And I'm just going to call it lowercase a array. And it's going to be equal to a new array list. And the type of data is a string, no arguments, and a semicolon to end our line. And if you've ever worked with databases in any other language, it's pretty much all the same. We'll need a while statement, and we'll say while result.next, which means basically as long as there's another result coming after the result we have now, keep running this while statement. So inside of our while statement, we're going to start by actually saying just a basic print line. We're going to do system.out.println, and we're going to go ahead and print result.get to string and then the column name or number. I like to use the column name, so I can say first name and then go ahead, and what we'll actually do is change this from a print on the next line but to just a print regular. We'll add this on the same line. We'll just print a space, and then after that we'll actually print out the last name. So you'll see when this prints out, it will print their first name, a space, and then their last name all on the same line, and this one will then set to the next line. Then we're also going to go ahead and actually add this result into our array using our array name .add result .get toString, or I'm sorry, dot get string. There we go, just like we did up here. And then the type. So we're just going to right now worry about their last name. We're not going to mess around with their first name, mostly because I'm lazy. On the next, or leaving our while statement, so once all of our records have been selected, we can go ahead and say system.out.println all records have been selected, and we'll end our quote here, end our line, and on the next line we will actually return our array. Now we'll also need to have a catch statement down here to finish or to end our try statement. So we'll say catch exceptions E, and then we'll do system.out.println E, end, and close our catch statement. And if we did not have this return, so something broke in here, we'll go ahead and we'll just return null. Considering this all works, what we can do is we can come up to our public static void main, and we can call our get function. And by doing this, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure the table exists, and if it doesn't, we're going to create it. After that, we're going to insert some data into our database, and then once we've inserted that, we're going to select all of the information from our database, first and last name, and then we're going to print it out to our console down here. So I'll go ahead and run that and make sure everything works. And as it looks, we have we start by connecting, function complete, which is our table creation. We connect and we insert, we connect and we get the name John Miller, then we get the name John Miller again, and then we have all records have been selected. Now the reason this shows up twice is because we called our post function, which is inserting into the database, and these names are going to be the same every time. And to show you, when I run this again, there will now be 3 John Millers in our database. And as you can see, John Miller, John Miller, John Miller. This is just some of the very simple parts of the select statement. You can do quite a bit with it. And since we have a little bit of time left, I'll show you quick how the select all statement really doesn't differ very much. If you just put in an asterisk or a star, which is Shift 8, it means select everything from my table. So we'll run this, and again, as you can see, it is exactly the same as it was before because we're just selecting everything. There's just a few minor differences. This is also selecting the ID, which at this point we don't need, but in the future you probably will. And that is optional. Since we're not actually going to be using the ID, I didn't feel the need to tell SQL to go get it. So I saved maybe just a couple bytes and a couple hundredths of a second by defining which fields I wanted to select. With that said, that's the basic of a select statement. There's also a limit and how many you want to limit. So let's say limit 1 and run this. And it comes in and it just prints out John Miller once because I said once you find however many records, in this case 1, stop looking. So you have your limit, and then you also have order by descending and ascending. I don't know what the ascending is. I think it's something like this. You can look that up online, and I'll have in the description what the ascending is, but I know descending is like this. And then when we do that, it would order it by alphabetical order descending. Since they're all the first name, you won't see a difference, so I won't run this. But that's the idea of the select statement. And in the next few videos, I will show you an update and a delete statement. Thank you for watching.